I don't think Mikey's. Oh, I don't think your thing's on.
I can see
I
Mikey's
don't think your
avatar.
My cat's having
Oh,
a meltdown.
okay. Yeah, he's just listening in right now. He's seeing what we're all saying.
No, that's cool. Oh, there he is. There's Mikey. We have Mikey and Kevin down there on the show floor. So we're live on the air now. So this will be archived forever. You can
you guys are live. Oh, I thought we were still just pre-show.
No, we are live.
I just threw us on. I mean, while we have you guys on the floor there, I figured it'd be fun to share with the audience. So
what's been the experience like, Kev? Like, I know you sat in the theatre at the moment, but what is this the first thing that you've done, or have you been able to access other things prior to this?
Yes, nothing yet. So they pretty much rushed us through to the top floor. They're keeping everything here down like on lockdown. Things are taped off, blocked off. There's like security everywhere. It's ridiculous. Whatever they got, it's big. Even when we were at the, go ahead.
What's the atmosphere like? What's what is there a buzz in there?
Oh, dude, it's electric in there, man. Everybody's excited. Everybody knows some big stuff is happening today. So it's insane. Last night we were at the hotel with all the Xbox people. And yeah, you could just see like all the different influencers and press here. Whatever Xbox has to show today, they are very, very confident in what they're going to show. It's going to be pretty big.
What do you think? What do you think it's going to be?
I mean, I have no idea. There's rumors of Indiana Jones being shown today, a new Mandalorian game supposedly being shown. I've heard different things from different people everywhere. It's, yeah, I honestly have no idea. I tried to find out last night. Oh, Greeny's going on. Sorry, it's going to get a little loud.
Yeah, shout. Okay. Give some hoots and hollers. Come on. We got Mikey.
Yeah.
He looks like
he's down there.
Mikey looks like he's on like a Metal Gear Solid mission. I think he might be in some ventilation ducts or something. I'm not sure what's going on.
I walked outside because I didn't bring my headphones. So I'm like, if I'm going to even be able to talk, I got to get out of here because I have to be on speakerphone.
That's cool. No, we just started the show up since we have you both on here. So Kevin was saying that there's a lot of stuff that's kind of secretive and locked away. So that's kind of exciting for me. I don't know if he can hear me too well. He's trying. I was saying.
No, I can, but Greeny is talking right now on the stage, so I just had to make sure.
Yeah, no problem. We'll let you listen to Greeny, and we'll talk to Mikey since he's outside. Or is he coming back in? All right, we'll talk amongst
I can talk to you. It's when other people are talking right next to me. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
So okay, we're good.
So what I was asking is, Kevin was saying there's a lot of stuff that seems to be kind of blacked out and locked away. So that sounds like we might get some surprises today, or maybe some surprises we already know about with Avowed supposedly making an appearance. So are you excited to see that stuff, man?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how well they kept it locked down. I mean, you'd walk up to people here and it's like they weren't talking at all. They were just, everyone was genuinely excited. All the employees and stuff, you could tell that they're like, this is going to be big. They're excited for it just as much as we are.
Yeah, so they have some confidence, which is also something that's good to see. So we're just so excited, man. We're so glad that you guys are down there. I'll share some pictures later on the stream. The stream where Kevin was getting a can of beans from Jez, and he actually he got a photo op with God Howard himself, and it's the most amazing thing. It looks like Todd Howard has the same jacket on he does at the Starfield reveal in the picture.
He did. So I actually got to ask him. I'm like, so do you wear this jacket normally? And he's like, yeah. I mean, it makes it easy. So he wears the jacket all the time. Yeah, no, it's his normal everyday jacket.
I love it, man. I hope that he has like 10 of them. He has to, right? Because you got to wear them out after a while. And I'm sure that's not a cheap jacket, and that thing looks amazing. So.
No, and it still looks pristine. I'm like, it doesn't even look worn. Do you really wear this all the time?
Like I said, he's probably got a stockpile of them. He's like, that's my jacket for life. I appreciate that.
New jacket for each day is there.
When we took the photo, though, everyone said Starfield, and I'm like, shouldn't we say Fallout 5? And he laughed.
Oh, nice, nice. You got a chuckle out of Todd Howard. That's great. That's a good line, too. I'm with it.
That was good.
Awesome. So what we were looking at about 35 minutes until the show starts here. Kevin said some stuff's going on down there on the floor. Don't let us hold you up if you want to get back in there with them. It's just so cool to be able to get. We have 2 streams.
Yeah, I might just jump back in because I didn't grab my earbuds.
Jump back on post show.
No problem.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Aaron's just thanking the fans right now and talking about how awesome it is to have everybody here.
Make sure you jump back on post show.
Yeah, we want to get you guys like the reaction from the floor, so we'll definitely get in with that. And we'll look for you. I'm going to be looking for you when they're doing the pan around and stuff. So if you see that camera at you, man, just make sure to one of those or something, and we'll know it's you. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, they've had cameras around. They're interviewing a lot of different people. Yeah, more than likely, you'll probably see me somewhere.
I hope so. You have a way of making it into like the press photos and stuff, man, and I love it because I'll always go through them at the end and I'm like, hey, there's Kevin, and most of our audience is probably familiar. Kevin lives pretty close to where a lot of these events take place, so he's fortunate enough to make it down there and give us on the scene coverage. And like we were just joined by Mikey there. Mikey flew out all the way from Minnesota, I believe, to join them. So there's a lot of hype around this, a lot of excitement. This is like the Oscars for Xbox fans. I know that's probably dumb to say, but this is our big moment of the year, the red carpet year. Like everybody gets done up and shows their big games, and we're so excited to see it with you. Yeah, what was that? That's awesome.
It's Aaron. He's asking everyone to throw up the X's.
Nice.
They're about to do it right now. You guys want a live feed?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
You
do
can,
So yeah, you got everybody here if you guys want to see.
Nice. Oh,
Awesome.
oh.
I thought you said there was only 500 people. Wait.
Sucks. The audio's getting a little chopped up, but I'm getting the vibe. Oh, there they go. Look at them. It's so nice to see them together.
You guys want to see an animal rally?
Yes? I didn't hear what he said.
No, I missed it. I missed it.
Wow, okay.
Sorry, I didn't know if you guys could hear me or not.
Yeah, we could. It's a little choppy because like the pumping, they were excited for the Xbox. So that's amazing.
All right, guys. Sorry, I got to jump off. I'm losing service right now. But I will connect with you guys after the showcase.
There you go. We appreciate it, bud. We'll catch you. We'll catch you for reactions. You have a good time down there.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Absolutely.
Wow.
All right.
How cool is that?
That was
Amazing.
chaos, man. I felt like I was getting like reports from the front lines of a war or something, but we got some details there. It was pretty cool. Mikey slipped out for us and gave us his breakdown real quick. So those guys are having an amazing time out there in LA, I believe, for the Xbox show that we're all excited to watch. I'm gonna bring up the page right now on our video feed, and you can see all the comments happening on the official stream page. The one comment I keep seeing, and I guess it's kind of a meme, is everybody's asking for Gollum games, but like different iterations. They're like, oh, I want Gollum Knights, and I want because that's obviously what people are most anticipating about this show. So never change, gamers. I love that kind of humor where they're just, what else are you gonna do while you're waiting for the show? So we have 28,000 people are waiting for this premiere, and that's just the official page. Obviously, people will be watching this all over the internet. A few of you might even be joining us, and then God bless your souls for doing that. We are excited to hear all the news. We've just heard directly from the floor from our guys down there that there's a lot blocked off right now. There's a lot hidden away. I heard there were T-shirts that they had blacked out, like tape over them and stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of that's interesting. Like what's on that T-shirt that has to be so secretive. So, what do you guys? Let me ask you two. We're killing a little time here. What if one thing could be revealed today, and it doesn't have to be realistic, but if they could give you like the one thing that would just make you like throw your camera to the side and run out of the house, what would it be?
For me, it'd be Killer Instinct 2.
Okay, I think that might be realistic, right? I've heard some rumblings.
Yeah, I mean, I think with this year being so fighting game focused, like we got a new Mortal Kombat, we have a new Tekken, new Street Fighter, that would just complete it. And I feel like the first Killer Instinct was really good. I don't know, why it didn't do as well as it should have, but I think that was like lightning in the bottle, and if they could recapture any of that and bring it over to the new systems, cross-platform, all that stuff, 120 frames like Samurai Showdown was, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and I've heard some people are getting some hands-on now with Mortal Kombat 1, speaking of like the fighting game revival, and from people that understand fighting games, and I'm always the first to say I don't have a clue about a lot of this stuff, but they really seem to think that they've made some changes. There's something about a cameo system. Do you know anything about that? Or
Yeah, the cameo system is like this assist that comes in. It could also be like a combo breaker, combo extender, things like that. It seems pretty good. It's not so much like Marvel versus Capcom type. It's just they kind of like run in, do something, then run out real quick, and it seems fun. It's different than Injustice, which I was worried that was happening to Mortal Kombat, that was getting very Injustice-like. And this new cameo system definitely changes it up a bit. And it also makes it not so much of a strike throw game like I'm very used to with Mortal Kombat. There's still a little bit of it, but the cameo does kind of make you wonder, like, oh, should I do it? Maybe not. You know what I mean? There's no punish counter for missing a throw like there used to be. So
yeah, I
it's good
think
stuff.
like the takeaway from the article I was reading is that it makes it it's just kind of a different game. It says it makes it more approachable for new players, maybe even because it gives them, like you said, maybe some different counters to these things that people have been doing for years and years and really perfected. It's they've gotten really good at it. So, but again, like I said, I'm a total layman to all this, but people did seem excited about the hands-on time with it. So I think Killer Instinct is a really interesting one, actually. You're kind of right. Killer Instinct launched with the Xbox One, I believe. With Rise, and it was part of those first batch of games, and it was a pretty good first batch of games looking back on it. Rise became kind of a cult classic in a way. For some reason, it wasn't super well received when it came out, but looking back on it, knowing that was a launch title for Xbox One, that game was phenomenal. It was truly maybe a little underrated, so that's another one people rumbled about. But back to Killer Instinct, though, it was fun, and people played it, but it just never seemed to gather the big following that those fighting games need to keep the scene alive and that kind of thing. I don't know if that's fair, but Killer Instinct 2 would be it seems like a good time for it, and it'd be a good place for Xbox to kind of launch a first party title, not launch, but make a first party stab in a genre that is having a bit of a resurgence right now. So Anthony, what's your big one? You've had time to think about this.
My big one personally would be an Xbox VR, but that's not gonna happen. We know that's not gonna happen. But I'm excited for I'm excited for like big reveal, like, expected big reveals. Like the Fable. I want to see Fable. I really want to see Fable. Really. We think that's coming. Gear 6. Be nice to see that announcement on Gear 6. The triple A's going forward. What else? Just anything at this point. Anything would be great.
We're ready for a deluge of big games and titles. I kind of get that. VR is probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I know, but the hardware. I think Xbox VR would be great, but we know that's not coming. Anything that like Fallout 5. Some Fallout 5 maybe. I know. These are things you're saying. Like what do we?
I mean. Well, we know that Elder Scrolls 6 is the next Bethesda game because they gave us that amazing 10-second trailer like 2 shows ago. So, which I think was funny. They could do the same for Fallout 5. They could just be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Fallout 5's coming," and people would probably lose their mind. But
I liked. What about like all the one-hit stuff that like you talk about? Rise 2 would be incredible. That was a Crytek game, wasn't it? Was it a first-party licensed? I'm not sure.
I'm not on that one.
Thinking of like the old studio, the old stuff they had, like Cameo. You mentioned Cameo. I know you guys Cameo. The game was amazing. That'd be great to see.
Cameo. That's another one. That was one of that was a 360 launch title.
360 launch title. Yeah.
That one goes way back.
It was great.
Was that rare?
Yes. No, I don't know.
Actually, yeah, it was rare.
Was it?
Okay.
Was it
rare?
I think it's in the
rare replay collection.
Yeah.
So that's why it came back to me.
Do we think we're going to see the Perfect Dark?
Oh, I hope so.
No one's talking about that one. That's a good one. That one we know that there's something going on with it.
It was kind of lost in the mire, wasn't it? It was mentioned and announced, and then.
Well, I heard Crystal Dynamics came in to help with it, so I wonder if that's why we stopped hearing about it. And I'm sure by now they have something to talk about.
Indiana Jones, so. We know that Indiana Jones is coming.
Indiana Jones is coming. I'm interested to see if maybe we get that surprise Game Pass drop. Those are always fun, and I think Xbox knows that. And this month's releases. Hey, Ayla, how you doing? This month's releases have been, let's see, a little not underwhelming, just a little sparse, I guess, for the Game Pass side of things. So there's definitely maybe some credence that they might be holding back a little bit to bring in the a surprise Game Pass drop. We all love those. Everybody does. Hi-Fi Rush was maybe one of the best received launches they've had in this year for sure. Redfall on that. It's not setting the bar real high, but I think that they might be kind of in tune with that. So I do hope we get those kind of surprises. And I hope something comes out of left field. I think Perfect Dark almost strays into that territory because it's been kind of radio silent for a while, and nobody's like, that's going to be at the show. Nobody's kind of speculating about it like some of these other games. So that would be interesting because we know that one is definitely under development. And of course, my number one ask is always a Viva Pinata game.
Viva Pinata, yeah.
It's about as realistic as the VR because we know Rare is very busy right now with Everwild, which if you're following that game, the last I heard about it now is that it's kind of turning into a Viva Pinata style gameplay. So that gives me a little hope. Rare's making this game, that might borrow from some systems from another game that I love. So. Excited. Maybe we'll see something from Everwild today. That game has been very quiet for a real long time. It's almost like, what happened there?
Yeah.
Ayla says, curious if Xbox will go ahead with Activision purchased and announce it during the show, regardless of UK stuff. Well, if you're looking for bombs, Ayla, that would be the biggest bomb they could drop.
Would they even be able to keep something like that quiet for a show reveal? I feel like once something big like a merger like that, it would just be in the news before they could even mention it.
Well, Bethesda was a little bit different, and they were able to do that. But this has been explained to me. This isn't even my reasoning, but what I've heard is Bethesda was a private company, but since Activision Blizzard King is public, it makes it much more difficult to come out with like and by the way, the deal's complete and screw you, UK kind of thing. But I love it. Yeah. I love it. So what we're going to do, just kind of a plan for today, is this is just a little pre-show. If you scroll back a little bit further or rewind, if you joined us live, we had Mikey and Kevin join us live from the show floor. They were able to share some details about some stuff that they have locked away, some details about no details, basically. But it sounds like they have some surprises in store for us today. During the show, we're going to we're going to stream it here. We're going to co-stream, and we'll be a little quieter. We're going to be watching mostly with you, but we might... when our jaws drop, we might butt in and be like, hey, I can't believe this. One of those reaction type things. Or when things get a little boring, we might comment on some of the stuff we just saw. We'll read your comments and bring that in too. And then it's one of those marathon days after the show and after the Starfield Direct, we will be coming back, possibly joined by Mikey and Kevin again from down there around the show floor. And we'll get some details, and we're going to talk about what we saw. We're going to have reactions, and we might even try to bring in some users at that point using Stages or Twitter Spaces. It's just kind of a fly by the seat of our pants approach to today. We're just trying to enjoy the show with the rest of you. So let's see. What's our countdown at? I'm looking over at the officials.
We are at
21 minutes.
21 minutes.
So
what's exciting for me on tonight is that all the big third let go in the Sony showcase. So it's just going to be a first party, hopefully sort of bonanza. It's just going to be, this is what we're doing. And
yeah, I mean, a lot of first party stuff. I think we're going to see third party stuff as well, because I saw somebody, I don't know, it was on Twitter. They were poking fun at Xbox a little bit, and they're like, don't panic if Sony doesn't immediately confirm third party games for Sony right after the show. And I was like, I see what you did there. If you're not Xbox, after the Sony show kind of tweeted out, they're just like, all these games are coming to Xbox too. So I think maybe they were poking fun at that.
Yeah, I mean, but there's no excitement in the reveal there, is it? Because we know about Assassin's Creed, we know about Alan Wake 2. I mean, for me, Alan Wake 2 would have been a huge thing for me tonight, but we already know. It's
yeah. I mean, there's some third party games cooking too that might make an appearance today, like Flintlock from Kepler, I believe, but we hear from them when they're releasing games, so it might not be that one, but a game along those lines. Some of these third-party games that have been cooking that people are interested in. What about Hollow Knight, Silksong? A release date would be wonderful for a lot of people, and small stuff like that could make its way into the show. It's a big audience, like I said. We're at 38,000 people now waiting on the live feed.
I've been seeing like a lot of people.
Sorry, go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been seeing a lot of people talk about like a Persona 3 remake on Xbox, and there's like screenshots of the different box arts like for the physical copies and stuff. So that would be interesting if Xbox managed to get that on their showcase, because what a turnaround from it being basically an exclusive. Now it's multi-platform. Then Xbox on top of that makes sure to show it off again, because didn't they show off the Persona 5 when it was on Game Pass?
Yeah, they seem to
Yeah.
have worked a really nice relationship with Atlas, and a lot of their games and products are coming to Xbox and Game Pass. It's getting to be there's a lot of I don't know what you want to call it. A lot of angst over the whole Final Fantasy situation in Square and Xbox and import games. Japanese developed games as a whole. We talked about Mega Man Battle Network not coming, and of course, the Final Fantasy Mainline's Pixel Remaster and that. So when I see support like this, it warms my heart because I love these games. I do. I play a lot of them on PlayStation because that's the only place I can find them. But if they make their way to Xbox, I'm always happy to support them. So that's good news. I'd love to see some more Persona or anything from Atlas and Tactics Ogre. And one of any of those games that can make their way too. I know that's a Square developed game, but I guess we'll just wait and see.
Yeah. I'm still surprised Octopath Traveler 2 never made it to Xbox. Like, I thought that was a weird omission.
That might be the weirdest one because the first one was on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't on Switch, or I feel like it didn't release somewhere. Maybe it did though.
Wait, Octopath 2? I'm not sure.
The original.
Yeah. No, the original was first on Switch. It was like an exclusive. And then it came to Steam and Game Pass. Never on PlayStation. But then Octopath Traveler 2 is on PlayStation, not on Xbox. It's really weird.
Every time I hear stories like that, I'm just assuming, checks were cashed, and that's what happens. It's how they roll. So that's pretty interesting. We're gonna go about 4 more minutes on the stream. That'll give us about 15 to set up for the big show and stuff. So any closing thoughts today before we get into it, guys, or Ayla, or and drop a comment and we'll. Ayla says they definitely want to see some rare stuff. Maybe Jet Force Gemini remake. That's another one.
Ooh.
Banjo has been a top request. They said that too, and some major stuff for Sea of Thieves, which I know has a huge following still.
What about it's games, isn't it? It's a game showcase. That's I was thinking about an overhaul of the achievement system that's been much cited. That for me, showing that would be a big deal for me.
I feel like that would be huge news. Don't know if they drop something like that here. That would be really cool. Like coming later this year, a reworked achievement system. I think people would really get excited about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just super pumped. Can't wait. It's 20 now. Speed it up.
It's been a long time coming. We've all been waiting for this. The Starfield show was actually delayed, right? I think they. Maybe not delayed. I forget what happened there. There was a little bit of hiccup. It might have been when they delayed the release date, and then they said a Starfield show was coming, and then we were waiting for the show, and then they finally announced the date, and of course it coincides with the Xbox showcase, which makes perfect sense. But people have been waiting for this for a very long time. I think we're at the point now where Starfield can no longer be delayed. Like you can't do it again. So this is really the start of the hype cycle for Starfield. It's the start of the marketing. I'm expecting to see Starfield commercials and everything, tie-ins like Diablo at KFC. I want Starfield at. Pick your favorite establishment and I'll go there. So just to, I'll collect cups, whatever you're selling. I want it. If it has Starfield on it, like it needs to be in my house right now. So it's just such an exciting time. I described it as the Oscars. It's Xbox Christmas. There's no bigger time of year for Xbox fans than these shows. As far as the amount of announcements and anticipation and unity, when we saw Kevin and Mikey down there on the floor, all that community, all those Xbox fans, the industry people like Jez and Sarah and Todd, first name basis because we hang all the time. But it's just it is what it is out there. So we are very excited to jump in there with all of you. We'll be back here after the show. Definitely love to, like I said, if we can work out an angle, we're going to work on it in between takes here and see if we can get some of you guys up here to join us as well. We'd love to hear firsthand takes, or we'll just read your comments and add them into that post show. We'll probably post to the community. Maybe we'll talk about that and see if we can get some of our regulars in here that have joined us in the past for this show. So you guys about ready to set up? I think we'll probably bring this one to a close. Cool. We're excited. We want to thank Kevin and Mikey for joining us from the air ducts of the show, and we'll join them later. So see you in a bit, guys.
See you in 10.